Hi YouTube. So I'm back tonight and I'm gonna talk about what fixed my misfire on my WRX. So I don't want to just ramble about it, but obviously I started with swapping coil pack spark plugs. If you hop on forums, there's literally tons of info about what you should do first. And for those of you that follow my Instagram, you know that I have been chasing the misfire for literally a year, if not longer, like pretty much since I had the car. And we kept thinking that we fixed it and then the light would come on, in like a couple hundred miles later. So it's been frustrating, but yeah, I'll kind of summarize real quick what I did do and we'll go from there. So what was really frustrating about this is that everything kept checking out with the car. So the car actually never sat and misfired. It didn't actually do any shady shit or run like poorly. There was like a few instances super randomly, but it makes sense now that I know what it is. But anyways, so it never actually misfired, or like it just threw codes 1 through 4. All cylinders were bad. So yeah, I started with the coil packs and spark plugs. I've done those several times now. They're all OEM. I did my MAF sensor, cleaned it, checked it, all that. All 3 air filters, so cabin air, this air filter, and that's actually kind of cool. This is not really an air filter, it's called a fuel filter. But I have my car stripped right now, so if you guys didn't know where your fuel filter, fuel sock, whatever you want to call it is, it's back there. So yeah, I checked all of my filters, did my O2 sensors. Good lord, I'm gonna keep forgetting about shit. But anyways, at one point I had checked pretty much everything and deemed the motor bad, right? So this fucking car passed leak down and compression twice now, and then deemed my valves bad. I was like, alright, it's pretty much the last thing that I haven't checked is my valve clearances. So we checked the clearances and they were all within spec, so it didn't need a valve adjustment. So that kind of left me scratching my head, and the shops, I had shops helping me at this point, which, by the way, if you're in the South or surrounding area, come to FW Motorsports. Paul and the whole team there is beyond incredible, and they've helped me a lot with my car, and they know their shit. So anyways, leak down compression past that, valves were in, or valve clearances were within spec. So kind of left me with ECU and wire harness. So yeah, it was pretty frustrating because I had basically, checked everything out with this car. I have techs scratching their head. I worked at a dealership at this point, and everyone was just stumped because my car, everything was checking out on it. Literally nothing was wrong with the car except that it's just throwing me codes. So I actually, at one point, burned sage in this fucker because I thought it was possessed. So that was fun. But yeah, guess what it turned out to be? Well, my dumbass had a bunk-ass battery terminal on the old battery that was in this car. And the main ground, that, mind you, I've cleaned this fucker so many times because I kept thinking, oh, it's my main ground or something being off. So I cleaned this guy, but failed to notice that on this end, with the old, I think I have it, no I don't. So basically what would happen is, the terminal was, basically the ground wire goes into those and you would tighten it up, and we were unable to do that. So the ground wire was just lined up with the hole essentially and not actually having a secure connection in there. I unfortunately did not take pictures of it in the car, and I really am kicking myself for not taking pictures. But yeah, so long gas terminals, stay away from them. I won't of it. But basically the old terminal, this wire, so my main ground, which is really fucking important, right? It's your main fucking ground wire, was basically sitting so that if I hit a bump, it would just bounce off and not be touching it. And that would explain pretty much everything that I had going on. So I had somebody help me, and we basically voltmeter, is that what it's called? tested some shit, and my old battery that I had in this, the voltage was like at 12, and then when you turn the car on it dropped to 9. So went ahead and did the battery. Went and got OEM. Shout out to Val for the hookup on the OEM price. If you guys need parts, slide my DMs. I got the hookup on that OEM. But yeah, so ended up replacing the battery, and then somebody did the terminal for me because obviously I'm dumb enough to not notice that my main ground is not fucking functioning correctly. But yeah, the car's been running like fire ever since. So hoping I didn't jinx it, because it's been like 300 miles since I replaced the battery, and it's been running great, no issues. So yeah. I'm sure you guys can imagine how frustrated I am to find out that it was, that simple, because I spent a year learning a shit ton about my car, mind you, and about like what causes misfires, and at one point I was like, it's my fucking flywheel because my car's not tuned. But anyways, yeah, I learned a lot in the year that my car misfired, and I'm praying that this fixed it, because otherwise I'm really gonna be stumped, and I'm probably just gonna have somebody turn off the codes and just fucking send it, because I have a intake at home for this car, and I don't have an access port, but it's been on the list. But literally that's the main reason this thing's built on suspension and not anything else, is because of this fucking misfire. So I'm gonna pray that that fixed it. Fucking CB life. It's been a long journey, but I hope that it's done. Alright, but thanks for watching, YouTube. So stay tuned, because I'm going to be posting some other stuff, but it might be a little bit. I have finals coming up in my summer classes, and then my fall classes start, and I'll be working a lot more. So my schedule is kind of crazy right now, but always time for cars, so I just gotta make sure I film it. So thank you guys so much for the support.